it's terribly depressing to see creative, sensitive, intelligent people just following these template tactical processes, going into Facebook groups and like pasting kind of like, some AI written slop, hoping that that's going to do something for them and their business. And it's not, because nobody's engaging with that. There's no sense of interaction. It really was just kind of like a dump your content kind of situation. And that was a lot of Facebook groups. Hello! Welcome back. I am very excited today because I have done something incredible. Now, I am not someone who typically brags, okay? I am by no means someone who is out there tooting my own horn. Typically, actually, I am the opposite. I have a self-detrimenting glitch where no matter how amazing I am, because I am, I often I often default to thinking the worst of myself, and I'm working on that really hard. So please be kind to me as I, for once, really celebrate an accomplishment, because I did something. I've officially brought a absolutely dead Facebook group back to life, from zero activity to 10,000 active users in just 3 months. Now, if you've never tried to build an audience or a following on anything, you're probably like, no big deal, like, whatever. But for those who know, you know how difficult this actually is. Okay, I have to be the first to say this is not something that someone without a lot of experience would be able to do. I'm not saying that because I am a special shiny and super impressive. I'm saying that because it is true, because there are a lot of very nuanced things that one would need to understand in order to be able to achieve this in such a short amount of time. And anybody who thinks that audience building is easy and anyone can do it is somebody who hasn't tried. Let's just say, between us fellow creative folks who have been trying to get our stuff off the ground, we know about this. We know about how much effort and patience and process it takes. And anybody out in the world who's saying this ain't no thing, they've never tried to do it. Okay, so celebrate with me. We're going to pat me on the back. And then I'm going to talk to you about how, if you have a dead or dormant audience, how you can bring it back to life. In 2000 and, what year was it? It was like in 2019, I started my own group using my own techniques called Sci Chicks. And that is my other Facebook group, Sci Chicks Casual Metaphysical Community. So Sci Chicks was 1.0 of this. I built that from 0 up to the now 30,000 plus members. It's fairly bumping and engaged in there. So I had even done this with a different Facebook group from 0 over a 4-year period and monetized it with a membership. Now, when November of this year rolled around, I was going through some stuff that I won't get into right now, but we've all been going through it. Like 2025, especially the end of 2025, was rough for a lot of people. And I was feeling a little bit like I need to either make what I'm doing online fun for myself again, or I need to get out. I need to stop, because this is not how this is not what I remembered. This is not the internet that I loved being part of. The enthusiasm I once felt for building an online business and creating content and being part of online communities, all of my enthusiasm had been kind of drained from me, because I would see these Facebook groups, and maybe you've seen them as well. If you're on Facebook, then you probably have. And they're supposed to be like these entrepreneur groups or these communities for other creatives like myself, but you go in them and they're just like self-promo. Nobody's actually talking to each other. Everybody's just dropping their links, and it's just this endless meaninglessness. My Side Chicks group is great, and I have been really excited to be building that over the last 4 years, but I am somebody who also is multifaceted, and so I wanted to be speaking to people who also were entrepreneurs. I was just kind of feeling like I needed to rebuild some of my confidence and expand myself a little bit to exercise my skill sets. I wanted a challenge. I felt like things had become kind of flat. Being somebody who needs to be creative and also intellectually challenged, I just needed something else to, I don't know, just feel alive in a way. To utilize myself and get myself feeling motivated to be doing things again, because that's really how I am. I'm not somebody who can just stay in one place or be like, okay, well, we did that, now we can just kind of stagnate. I'm always pushing myself and I'm always looking to do more and kind of play with my life and expand my horizons. So I was really craving a group where there were other people like me who identified as being creative entrepreneurs. It's also one of the reasons I've started this channel. I'm hoping to call more people like myself in. If I exist, then you must exist. That's kind of the key theory here. I started up in November. I unpaused the group and started the process of rebuilding the engagement to try to get the group be visible again to some of the members who were in there, and also add some new people, some new energy to start setting the tone. I'm about to share with you some of my techniques for building audiences, specifically using Facebook groups if anybody's interested. If they maybe have a dead group or a platform that they want to bring back to life, this is exactly how I went about it. I'm not going to gatekeep on any of this here because I think it's valuable for people to understand. If you have a dead platform, meaning that like you have a platform where there are followers or people in it, but they are no longer engaging or interacting, like it's pretty much like starting from scratch unless you can bring that thing back to life. This is why you really shouldn't buy other people's Instagram profiles or YouTube channels or Facebook groups. You shouldn't buy somebody else's platform, especially if it's been left dormant, because algorithm, right? So if there's no engagement, then the content's not being shown. It doesn't really matter the number. It could be 100,000 people on an Instagram account. It could be like this Facebook group I'm talking about had 40,000 people in it. And even though they were the target demographic that I was looking to connect with and create content for, it doesn't matter, because if it's dead, it needs to basically be lifted, and you have to kind of rebuild trust with the algorithm, if you will, to allow it to start showing the content from that profile to people again. And a lot of people just don't have the patience to do this. They may think, well, if it just has followers on it, there must be that 2%, engagement guarantee. But platforms that are dead and don't have genuine, like, followers, like genuine audience, or your majority of your audience are bots or fake accounts, or they're expired profiles that people no longer use, they don't actually log on, they're not active, all of that's going to drag you down, and it is a uphill battle. This is a very niche thing, so only people who have ever tried to build an audience of their own or revive an audience that they have or keep an audience alive even understand what I have accomplished and why it's so impressive. And I want to make this video valuable, not just talk about what I'm able to do, but really give you insight into what it takes. Because I think that if people knew, if they actually knew what it takes, only people who really actually wanted it would bother. And I really want this because I need to make interneting great for myself again. I need to make Facebook feel like a platform I want to log on to. I do not want to participate in those endless scroll hole type things. I do not want to do non-productive, non-nurturing activities in my life at all, period. I'm too old for this. You're probably too old for this too. So you need genuine interaction and engagement to stay motivated. So do I. So here's how you get it done. And everything that I'm going to talk about in this video is applicable across multiple platforms. Some people may be able to do this on their Instagram or their YouTube. I, for one, did it with a Facebook group, which is a specific type of beast, and I'll explain how they're different so you can understand. But everything I'm about to talk about is everything that I did that you can do as well if you want to bring some life to your social media. And if you are somebody who's brand new and starting from scratch, everything I'm about to talk about is applicable. It's just your expectation should be that it's all going to take much, much longer. Because think about it like if you're starting from zero and you're trying to get to your first 10,000 followers, you don't have that at all yet. Like, I'm building something that exists, but I'm trying to get it back to life. You're starting from zero, trying to make it happen. This advice is going to be applicable, but it's going to be a slower grind. And the reason it's going to be a slower grind is because you don't already have the data pool of profiles and people to even work with. You have to build that from nothing. I want to reel it back for a second, actually, and give a little bit of context of how I even know how to do this stuff, because it is hard. one, but two, I have a extensive background in it because the agency that I've been talking about, my marketing agency, one of the things that we specialized in was building social media platforms for other people. So people would pay me to build their Instagram followings or their Facebook groups, and I had VAs and we would build engagement in there and do the thing for other people to utilize. So I was the person behind the scenes doing this for other people before I was even doing it for myself. This is a big important detail also because I don't think somebody with no experience is going to know all these very specific things about it. And if I share a little bit, I kind of pulling the curtain back and revealing like what does it take to be bumping with the algorithm? I don't know, to be a highly engaged, visible platform that is being recommended to people and actually growing. So step one, the first thing you need to be doing is asking tons of questions. When you set out to do this task, you want to be asking tons and tons of questions. Now, not just any questions either, questions specific to the audience that you're trying to engage with. Because the way that social media works on the data level, and I hate this because I love real people, okay? I love people. People are not data. But I have to talk about people as data to talk about what we're actually doing. So I'm not trying to reduce people to just data, but we all have profiles, and the profiles show the algorithms what we're interested in. And the whole premise behind all algorithms is to keep you engaged by showing you the things that you generally like. So their goal as a platform is to keep you on the platform and interacting with the platform and logging back into the platform so they can serve you ads. And they want those ads to be targeted to your interests. And therefore, they're collecting all of this information about you based on your activity to create a better data profile for you to serve you better ads that they are going to then go sell. And that's the monetization model of social media. You know, don't hate the messenger, don't hate on the messenger kind of thing. Like, I'm just telling you this is how it works. If you didn't know, now you know. If you do know, I'm just reminding you. So what I'm about to talk about, I'm not trying to minimize people. People are more than their data profiles to me. But at the same time, you need to understand that to understand the whole asking the right questions to find the right people, because asking questions that are very specific are going to pull people out of the woodwork who are interested in that topic that you were asking questions about. And you are then training your algorithm by engaging with the people responding to those questions who you're looking for. So on any platform, start by talking to your audience, asking them to engage back with you, because their comments and their interactions, each and every one of those, kind of identify to the algorithms what that profile and its content is going to be about, or in my case, what that Facebook group is going to be about. And it's going to look for other people connected in that, little web of a network to those people, to me, to that platform. Again, if you're building this from scratch, you have no data pool to pull from. If you have an existing platform, you have the data pool. The behind the scenes kind of understanding of what that content is already there, but you are just kind of reminding the algorithm, this is what this is about. This is what we're doing here. And anybody who was in that group that I was restarting, who was interested in that content, they could then be reactivated by this new engagement. So the second tip I want to offer is finding some VIP people out in the world, letting them know what you're up to and having them do this with you. This means you're talking to them beforehand and being like, hey, can you come onto my Instagram profile, or can you comment on my YouTube channel, or can you come into my Facebook group and post, so that we're bringing this back to life together. So I had about 10 VIPs from my other communities and stuff coming in to help me out with this. It was just necessary. We really needed to bring the thing to life, to kind of train the algorithm to bring the thing to life. So I went out and behind the scenes had conversations with people and was like, come help me out with this. My CASA, you CASA, like come and be a VIP, help me out. So that was part of it. Other people have to do this with you. They are social platforms after all. It's very difficult to do this just by yourself. Again, because one individual trying to gather and collect people for their own infamy is not really how the platforms are actually designed. They're designed for communities and like group socializing. That is why the self-appointed guru up on their pedestal doesn't have real, genuine engagement at the level of somebody who is nurturing community along with building their content. That's important to know. It doesn't matter what social media platform you're thinking about being on or focusing your energy on. You just have to really understand this component of it. If you are just doing it because you want to elevate yourself and you are not a household name or some celebrity or some intriguing figure, You need to really rally people around common ideas, niche ideas. And the more niche, the better, because if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one. With Enlightened Entrepreneurs, my vision was basically using myself as the avatar because I want to hang out with people like me. So the multifaceted, creative, self-aware, freedom-seeking entrepreneur. If they identify with that, which is something I identify with, then they are, sorry, I'm fixing my necklace because it's driving me crazy. Then they are a good fit for my community. So that was a big piece of it, was really knowing who I was speaking to, asking questions, engaging them, having my VIPs help me by asking questions and engaging, and also letting the VIPs know like what this is about as well. So knowing that they know who we're trying to like interact with and build this platform for. So those are the first two steps. The third step is really using the momentum that you're getting to create the atmosphere and set the tone of the community. Now, that may sound very vague as far as advice goes, but when things start to happen and there is some lift, that's really you when you want to come in and like evoke some control over it to set the rules and the expectations so that they can self-qualify whether or not they even want to participate. So that's when you want to start talking about what you are actually doing. And that's where having things like your mission statement and your values and your overall thesis for the project that you're asking other people to rally behind needs to be clarified and articulated over and over and over again. You have to be willing to talk about what you were doing while you were doing it and why you were doing it, and inviting other people to participate and making it super clear like who it's not for also, so those who do not get it, are not vibing, can self-exit. Because to have a thriving online community, which is specifically niche and focused on one resonating idea, you need to make it clear what that resonating idea is. So having super clear values, mission statement, and intention behind what you are doing allows other people to decide whether or not they want to be part of that and participate and help you elevate it. And again, you want it to filter other people out who it doesn't resonate with, so they leave. Because to have a high level of engagement, and to go back to what I have done here, there's a group with over 40,000 people, and I have been reaching over 10,000 of that 40,000. That is about a 25% engagement rate. About a quarter of that audience is being engaged. And that only happens, that high engagement ratio, most social media platforms are getting less than 2 or 1% of engagement ratio. But this is particularly impressive because that means that the audience is the right audience for the content being provided to the platform. It means that you got it right. When your engagement ratio is good, it means you're reaching the right people and you're creating the right type of content. That is an indicator to you that you are on track, and you just have to stay the course. You have to continue to do the same thing, because my hope is in a couple of months, we'll be having a conversation about how we are reaching 20,000 of this audience, and then possibly, the entire audience, but then it's going to double in size. So maybe we're looking at a group with like 80,000 and we're reaching like 40K. That is incredible. I have the optimism that this can happen based on what's currently happening. And a lot of it is because other people like it. I mean, I can't beat around the bush. Really, if there's some fourth secret tip, it's you have to have substance and value according to other people, not just yourself. And I'm going to have to make a whole other video on this, but one of the most common mistakes people make is they make their social media platform all about themselves. And these days, nobody really wants to participate in that because we've all kind of overcome the illusion that we should just be a number, just be followers of somebody else's thing. Instead, we want to participate. We want it to have value to us as well. So creating a platform that has mutual value, even if the value is just bringing like-minded people together, is really a key ingredient to having any level of success when trying to build a platform in this modern era of social media. The influencer or the guru or the look at me, pick me type creator, they are being kind of weeded out. And what we are seeing now is this renaissance of people wanting to get behind things that bring value to their lives as well. So participating in my group is meant to fill your cup as much as it's filling my cup. If it was an Instagram profile, which a lot of people are trying to build, or a TikTok following, or you're on X, YouTube, all of that, people are following things that resonate with them. And they're following creators and people who speak to them, are able to articulate things they feel in their heart, but maybe they have not been able to put into words or put out into the world and express. And that's how they're finding each other. And that's how they're building massive fan followings and real, genuine engagement. And that can't be faked. All of the algorithms have kind of shifted to support this as well, because really the best way for them to eliminate any kind of like fake engagement or fake influence with bots and purchased views and all of this manipulation that happens, and I definitely know that it happens because I definitely did that for people in my agency to help them look like they had more of an audience than they did to help them sell things. I was complicit in that because that's what everybody was doing back in 2015, 2016, all the way up till like 2020, 2021. But things have changed so much. None of that flies because everything has shifted to focus on the metrics of genuine engagement. And those metrics of genuine engagement indicate to the algorithm that there's something of quality and substance here. And then it uses the data profiles to go find more people like the people interacting with it to grow those platforms. So I've given you like really the behind the curtains true information about how you do this, but it's very difficult for somebody like myself to tell you what that content should be. I do believe there is energy in everything. I am a spiritual person. There is something about having the energy of intentional creation, intentional magnetic attraction to like-minded people that is happening in the metaphysical that is also influencing all of this. Being genuine in your approach makes a massive difference because we are all little like radars, little radios looking for things that feel energetically aligned with us. So there's so much more to this because at the end of the day, it's all also partially energy and other people being attracted to something that feels real and pure to them. They can feel it versus manipulative, fake, boring, self-serving. We're over that, and we are really looking out in the world to support things that have some meaning to us based on like what resonates and what's important to who we are as people. A little bit off topic there, starting to talk about energy and kind of the woo side of the work that I do. But I just want to also weave that in because I think it matters. You can't do this unless you truly have the heart for it. And the intention behind what you're doing has to come from a place of pure desire to create, pure desire to engage people, true desire to build something that other people want to put their time and energy into. So that's what I've done. Enlightened Entrepreneurs is a bumpin', beautiful, gorgeous, yummy space. There are so many people in there that are similar to me, but different enough to keep things interesting. We are having fun. We are actually talking to each other. We're actually helping each other. We're doing sharing of wisdom, sharing of stories, sharing of true, genuine ideas and constructive community building. It feels so good. So I'd love to invite you to join us because it is a awesome space, a little hidden gem on Facebook. Come say hi. If you discovered the group from this video, let me know. I want to know if that's what brought you there. But I am calling in the other people like myself, us dorks. We can hang out together. We get it. And I want my group to be the best group on Facebook that it can be. And I want my vision, which is the Enlightened Entrepreneurs, Enlightened Providers Directory, to take on a life of its own and provide something of value in this world. Because if you haven't noticed, there is a lot going on right now. And I am feeling the heaviness of it all as a sensitive individual, and you might be as well. But there is nothing more comforting than being amongst other enlightened individuals who really understand and who also want to create and also want to do things with intention and do care about the energy behind what they do. So, if that's you and you resonate, join us. We're a fun bunch. We also meet on Wednesdays for this really fun networking, socializing thing called Night Owl Networking that I'm just getting off the ground. We've had 10 gatherings so far, and they have all been so delightful, so heartwarming, and it's really brought some joy back into what I do day to day. And if this is what I get to do for the rest of my life, I'll be the most grateful girly. So pray for me, pray for my projects. Thank you for watching until the end. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.